Let's bring him on to the screen. The great Joe Santos. Good morning to you, Joe. How lovely to be. Muito prazer, muito prazer.
Very, very good morning to everybody. Hey, Colin.
Good morning.
Very nice to see you again. You were also the first person we spoke to when we got to Cardiff. So that was fun.
What's it like when he's a big fella, Colin? You're having a quiet drink, and then someone towers over you from the table next door, and it's Colin Ross Jones. What was that like?
No, that's something I love from Wales or from Great Britain in general. That everybody speaks with everybody, and that's something I miss here. I'm Spanish, although I live in Portugal since 2006. And Portuguese aren't so open to speaking, which is also very positive in another sense. But yes. I love going to Great Britain, being just in any pub and anybody just sits next to you and just starts asking questions. And I'm delighted to just join the conversation. And it was beautiful meeting Colin and learning about his beautiful story with his sons. That was really nice. Then the game was absolutely incredible. It was really very exciting. Absolutely. Very exciting.
You're a fellow rugby fan as well, then. But you're here this morning to tell us about the amazing work you do. You are one of the top Portuguese social impact entrepreneurs. But how did that happen, and how did you get to be running Vencer Autismo or originating it? Tell us about your backstory, Joe. So, a Spanish, came to Portugal, very successful business guy, but then decided to put that behind you and do something new with this incredible social impact. Can you tell that story to us, please?
Yeah, my story is I was born in Spain, brought up by, my mom was born in New York, although all my grandparents are from a village in Zamora, Spain, very close to 30 kilometers from the border with Portugal. Okay. I was brought up in American schools in Madrid and in the States. And when I was around 24, I went to Munich to do an internship in Siemens in the worldwide telecommunications central. So that was very exciting. I stayed in Munich for 8 years, and then I got tired of corporate life. I didn't like the push and shove political thing when you grow in the hierarchy. So I decided I'm gonna go to a warm place, build my own company at the ocean. These were the premises. So I ended up in Cascais, and in Cascais, I started one company, and one company became 9 in Spain, Portugal, and Mexico.
Wow.
And in that journey, which I believe is success, I believed back then was success. Yeah. I met my wife. My wife had 2 daughters. They were 6 and 8 years old, and the eldest, her name is Kawi, and she's autistic. So I entered the home of autism. Let's call it that way. I soon lost interest in my companies or in for-profit play, and really got into helping Kawi, help her evolve. We started working with her 32 hours per week, one-on-one. It's not one or 2 therapies per week of 45 minutes. It was 32 hours one-on-one for 2 years at home with a bunch of volunteers and us comprehending her and learning, what the tips and tricks were to help her evolve. It demands a lot from us, but specifically and especially a lot of love. It's not about, this is not a fight. You're not fighting against something that's terrible. You're embracing, you're accepting, you're loving, and that's the only thing that your child understands, right? And in that journey, we thought, man, Kawi is evolving so fast. Why are her peers that are autistic not evolving at this speed? This is not fair. This is not necessary. So that's why we founded Vencer Autismo. The idea was just to share with other parents what worked with our daughter, and what could work with theirs. We opened a center in Porto with 35 kids. We did therapy with minimum 4 hours per week. Incredible results. 33 of them had brilliant results. 2 of them not so much. Actually, not almost. You couldn't almost notice, but they were severely autistic. These 2, and already older, and they would need much more than 4 hours per week. Anyway. Yeah. We're doing this, and we understand. We say, wow, we've got the solution. Everybody come to us. We know how to work with your child. But then we studied the problem of autism and understood First, our solution was not accessible to everybody geographically, meaning somebody that lives in Villarreal couldn't really come to sessions every week. And it wasn't accessible financially. Not everybody can pay 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, 30 hours of therapy per week.
Sure.
Right? Especially in Portugal. So we studied the problem of autism and reached the conclusion the problem with autism is not who's autistic. The problem with autism is the lack of comprehension. It's a negative stigma. So when nobody understands, they don't know what to do.
Yep.
That's the problem with autism. Because once you know your child and you accept their autism and you love the strange things they do, you're there. That's your autism is it's a little bit more of work, just like if your child used a wheelchair, you've got a little bit more of work, but that's not a problem, right? And that's what we started solving. So me and my wife, we started driving around Portugal, teaching everybody, parents, teachers, therapists, psychologists, universities, everywhere. We've already taught more than 90,000 people. So we're only 9,910,000 short of everybody comprehending autism, and that would be the solution, let's say, for the social problem.
Yes.
And now we're active we help families, we help schools, we help institutions, we help companies. We've got a big program going on now in center of Portugal and north, which is Vencer, and we're actually teaching people with autism, youngsters with autism between 15 and 35 years old. We're teaching mentors to accompany them, like buddies that are from the profession where we want to direct this person with autism, and companies. And we're getting a bunch of kids to get a job. They're getting internships, and then they're getting jobs, and we're helping companies and everybody be part of this beautiful, beautiful journey.
Yeah, incredible. This is an amazing story. So running 9, did you say 9 companies? You had 9 companies?
Yeah, back then. Yeah, but they weren't big companies. 2 of them were pretty good and very profitable.
Even so, that's that's quite the undertaking, isn't it, to have 9 companies running? And your world was changed by Cowie, I think.
Yeah, she saved me.
Well, that's what an interesting way of looking at it. I mean, she brought us something completely new to your world, and by the sound of it, gave you a different look, an outlook, or meaning on life.
Absolutely, you can speak with any parent of an autistic child or youngster or adult. There's 2 perspectives. One is I accept the autism of my child, and I accept my child the way he or she is, even if they never change.
Yeah.
And that's embracing autism. And those parents will all say, the best thing that happened in my life. My child helps me understand the world in a different way. And then you have others that are still not accepting. I understand it perfectly. I'm not criticizing. It's just a journey, because it only starts working when you accept. The moment you accept, I define love as unconditional acceptance.
Yes.
Right. When you love is you accept whatever comes. Right. Yeah. That's real love, or love in capital letters, let's say. When that happens, then there's a click and the child improves.
And that's completely transferable, isn't it? I mean, our world can learn from that message, whatever we apply that to, right?
You understood it, Carl. That's the beauty of autism, is it helps us understand everything better. It helps companies be better. It helps parents be better. It helps siblings be better. I mean, the siblings of kids on the spectrum, they are amazing. They become so responsible, so empathetic, so good to read people. It's amazing.
Yes, yeah.
And thanks to their brothers and sisters.
When did this begin, Joe? What year was this? This journey began for you?
We actually founded Vencer Autismo yesterday, 15 years ago.
Oh, well, okay. Happy anniversary on that.
Yeah, and Vencer Autismo was 15 years old.
Congratulations.
Maybe 17 years ago. Kawi was 8 when I met her 17 years ago, and she's 25 today. She finished her university. She's starting to be an actress. No curricular adaptation regarding her autism. Okay. So it's possible. It's just, you just have to work with love. It's a lot of dedication. It's a lot of dedication.
Well, how wonderful. With her and many others, by the sound of it, many other families, you've brought about the most incredible results. And do jump in, Colin. I know I tend to hog our guests.
I'm so fascinated to hear how how you can actually work with autism, because what I've seen of it is some people just put up with it and say, well, he's just autistic, and leave them to carry on their life without guidance. And I think Joe is doing a wonderful thing, and it's free. You know, so
the key, the parents are key. This is so important for everybody to understand. Parents are key, and parents can say, "Oh, I invest all my money in therapies every month," and I tell them, "Okay, now what's really going to help your child is that you comprehend her autism and you work with him or her to help him evolve. Because if you don't do that, you can't measure, you can't discern if the therapy is working or not. You can't know if it can be better, or if you have to change, or if you're on the right path. And then you have making this companionship with the therapist. So it really works. So I'm not against therapies, but I know that the power of parents is absolutely amazing. We've done it with Kawi. We've accompanied and we support parents that do it with their children, and the results are astounding. Of course, it's not happening in 1 week. It's a journey.
But what you said there, parents are the key, and what all parents should understand is they are the key to their children growing up, and they are the biggest influence apart from teachers. And at the end of the day, the parents don't have any influence over the teachers, but they have influence over their children. And autism or not, parents are still responsible for the way that children behave. And I ran a bed and breakfast, and we also used to do villa hire. And I noticed that because it was an expensive villa, we always used to get high-powered parents who'd bring their children, and they'd let their children do absolutely anything because they were guilty that they spent no time with them.
Yes, interesting. Interesting. Well, this is what we realize, I suppose, isn't it? Everything ultimately is about your own journey and what you realize about yourself.
Yeah.
And if you make it like a sort of third party thing, like it's the kids or it's the teachers or it's somebody else, you are missing out potentially on a life-changing adventure in the process of these wonderful experiences and possibilities that you're talking of, Joe. This is quite amazing this morning in our community. Matty, here in Portugal, I've been diagnosed to be on the autistic spectrum 20 years ago. It might have been Asperger's, but they changed the way it's named, so now it's autism spectrum disorder, ASD. I did not know until I was in my 40s. So people have got their own journeys as well, haven't they, and their own realizations with this too, not just with their kids. Adrian's asking a request to use a universal design background, I think, for website designers as well there. Thank you, Adrian. Survivor of a brain injury, infant brain injury, and consequently on the autistic spectrum. With the help of Portuguese anti-torture authorities, forced Coimbra University to do this. A bit of activism there from Adrian. I'm autistic as well, Jackie. I don't do much, if any, eye contact, and I say strange things, and people see me as weird. I see it. I just thought you were a Gumper, Jackie, or Welsh, for that matter. I see it as a chance. All right, we know each other. She makes a joke. I see it as a chance to educate. Absolutely. And I'm somewhere on the spectrum, but didn't know or understand for a long time. Now I consider it my superpower, as does Coach Turner. One of our grandsons is mildly autistic, but we're discovering it's his superpower. He's very bright. His mum now works one-on-one with youngsters with special needs. It changes people's lives, doesn't it? How inspiring is Joe, our guest this morning from Ian as well. Joe, you want to respond to that, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting what Jackie was saying, for example, right? I don't do much eye contact and I say strange things and people see me as weird.
Yeah.
I've learned so much from autism and from embracing anybody who's different. So I'll explain. Since I'm working with autism and with my daughter and with Vencer Autismo, I've gotten much more curious and much more, let's say, open to speak with people that are just simply different. So I meet somebody in a wheelchair and I ask, "Hey, what happened?
Yes.
Why are you in a wheelchair?"
Yes.
And the people just open up and tell me their life story, and we make friends. When I see somebody that has a big scar on their face, I'll ask, hey, what happened? You know, I look at the obvious and say, hey, that's different. Tell me the story. Yeah. And they're the most beautiful stories. We cannot learn. I'm going to shoot some more information here into the chat. We cannot learn from who's the same as we are. We learn most from who's most different from us.
Absolutely.
You know, who's gonna the Welsh rugby team? Who are they going to learn more playing against? The All Blacks or against some small university or Ericeira rugby?
Ericeira rugby.
Colin, you were going to add something there.
No, but Joe's absolutely right. I mean, okay, I used to be a salesman. I like talking to people. People, you know, any other person could have sat down at that table and just had their own conversation with their own environment, and they miss out on so much by not talking to people. Okay, sometimes you find when you start talking to some people, I wish I hadn't started this conversation, but you carry on. But generally,
we've done that.
Exactly. But generally, it opens up a new world to you. And why are people so shy at actually just saying, hello, how are you? Where are you from? I mean, I couldn't believe when I asked where they were from, and I didn't say where they're from. I said, why do you come here? Do you come to the rugby often? They said, no, we live in Portugal. And then, of course, what's my response? So do I. And here we are with Joe, a wonderful person doing a wonderful thing. And, you know, he talks about talking to people who are different. Well, you and I, Carl, are different.
Yeah, I think
whether we like it or not, we are definitely different.
Yes.
Yeah. But we need more people to be different. We don't want people going in a cardboard box, don't want to fit in a cardboard box. Get out of it. Experience life.
Yes, Colin Ross Jones. There he is. His motivational message.
He's always accelerating, huh? Colin is always accelerating.
Yeah. Well, we need to find out how we can support and help you, Joe, for sure, before we go. But there are other issues. I mean, this is interesting as well, because I think in the last 15 years in which you've been involved in this movement or awareness, things have changed. Perhaps the road is rising to meet our feet a bit as well. Also, the border at which it's called a disorder is moving, and more to the right to normal. So consequently, more and more people have a disorder. This is interesting, isn't it? That the awareness and the acceptance, and I use that word loosely because it's like, those are the people with the problem and we're not. That's part of the problem, isn't it? Your talk of using acceptance in the most possible way, as in, just having an open mind and heart is really important here. And that's again transferable for the sort of world we might want to live in, that it isn't like pathologizing everyone else and we're normal and okay, because that's not working very much or very well anymore, is it?
I would say the problem is, or one of the problems the narrative has been, we are all normal, or everybody's normal, and that's sorry, I'm gonna use my North American English here. That's bullshit. Why? Why? Because we're all absolutely, completely different. Everybody. Take two twins. I don't know if people have twins here, people that are watching us. Ask them, are they the same? And they'll all tell you they're completely different. They look the same, but they are completely different. We are all completely different. It's ridiculous when anybody says we're normal. It's even more ridiculous when somebody calls someone disabled.
Yeah.
The moment you're alive, even after you're dead, some organs are still working. You're still a miracle.
Yes, absolutely.
How can you call somebody disabled?
I need to go. I'm sorry. I have a doctor's appointment, and it's one of these where you go into the room, and it's a computer, and the lady and the doctor's on the screen, so she has a particular time at 9:30 that I have to be.
All right,
there.
you better go to that, and don't borrow.
I need to go.
Okay. All right. See you later, mate. Thank you very much.
Great to see you.
I cut him off a bit early there. Well, thank you. His work here is done introducing you to us, Joe. This presumably doesn't run on unicorn farts and rainbows. You do need funding. How does that work? How are you supported, and how does it work?
Okay, we're supported by we get European grants and national grants, and we get prizes and all sorts of that stuff. We get sponsorships for specific programs. So usually, like, we have Zurich Insurance is one of our big sponsors right now, and they're supporting the big Vencer Emprego projects, which are north and center of Portugal, with huge impact. And then we have donations. We've got the services we sell. So for example, I give talks. I'm a public speaker. All the talks I do, of course, I always speak about autism and use the opportunity to educate a little bit. And all the funds go always to Vencer Autismo. A lot of teaching, so workshops, master classes. And then we do services. Now we're changing. Right now, we had a subscription service where we supported parents daily. So we have one of the best therapists in Portugal. I'm not saying it because she works with us, but because I know very well the ecosystem. And she's supporting parents 2 hours per day on WhatsApp. So that's an individualized support for €44 per month, which is amazing. But we're going to discontinue that one, and we're going to work on another one, because even that one is hard to sell in Portugal, because people have this therapeutic view, which is the therapist is the one who has to work. And when you ask them, like, what's working best? Do you see more progress when you're working with your child and you have our support, or when you're taking your child to therapy? What's the advance in therapy? And the answers are usually, well, we don't know. We've been there for 9 months. We're waiting to see results. I can tell everybody, if you don't see results in 2 weeks, maximum 1 month, it's not working. If your child comes back, doesn't want to enter the therapy session, it's normal the second time. If your child does not want to enter, it's not going to work. Because they're just going to shut down.
Yes.
It has to be a game for them. And then that's when it really works. And that's our experience. Anybody that has any question, any doubt, how we can help, or if they want to support or whatever, here are contact details. That's my personal phone number, my WhatsApp. The last one, the first one is the Vencer Autismo, and the team answers. We're here to help. That's our mission. So anybody
bless you. How lovely to find you. And Colin's got a gift, doesn't he, of connecting people and opening up. So that
was magic.
He does that. Yeah, there you are.
And it was so welcoming, right? Because we're from outside, and we got there, and it was so welcoming to have a local speak with us. So that was really nice. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here this morning. Just a couple more comments. It's the joy. I hope you'll come back as well. Update us on what's going on, and we can see how else we can help. I've got a few people I think would love to connect and chat with you. It's the joy of being single, being available in public settings to chat with everyone, see the individuality, and hear the stories to connect. Says Simply Live Mel. And this is a lovely little vignette, a cameo, I suppose, of life. I was recently on, this is what can happen. Thanks, Gary, for this. I was recently on a train to London, and no one was speaking with each other. I do this as well, Gary. I started speaking to the lady opposite, and then noticed a couple of people near us take their earphones out. Isn't that fantastic? An outbreak of human connection there, even in the UK, even in London, for that matter. Last word to you, Joe, if you have a message or something else you want to add in conclusion, and I hope you'll come back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm delighted to come back. And if you guys have live events or something, I'm really happy to hop on stage and always convey this message. The message for everybody is just the secret to any challenge we have is acceptance. It's embracing, it's loving. And when it's about human beings, especially people with autism or any other extra difference to what the differences that we already have, right?
Yes.
Just take your time to just listen, observe, be with the person. In like, you guys speak Portuguese, so there's a difference between ser and estar. Estar is just to be watching TV with someone. To be, ser, is to really fully be with the other person, and just allow yourself to do that and see magic unfold, because it's the best thing that we can do for ourselves. We believe we're going to help them, and we're the ones who are helped.
It's so often the way, isn't it? It's so often the way. Added value, right there. Yes, it all the fingers point back to us, but it's so true what you say. Try it, open up a little bit, see what can happen with acceptance. Ser is permanent, where estar is temporary. Thank you for that,
Hey,
Matty,
cool,
as well.
beautiful.
Cheers, Joe. Much lovely to meet you. Keep on keeping on with your fantastic message, and if you can think of a way we can help you, do let us know. And yeah, come back again.
Yeah, and I'll listen to your show because this is nice and positive. There's no politics, no wars, no all that stuff that is distracting everybody. Well,
we try and keep it light here. A little glow of a glimmer of light and hope on a far corner of the internet. All the best to you, mate. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you, everybody.
Ciao, ciao. Bye for now. What a legend, Joe Santos, your Vencer, Autismo there. Thank you, Matty. Don't mention the wall. Which one? We'll stay in Porto. I believe Joe said that's where he was, up there in the north of Portugal. That was a connection between him and Colin, of course. Let's do that because I haven't done it so far this morning. Let's go to the Portuguese citizenship test question. Little bit of a clue then. Kate already on this. I know this one. I thought it was a bit too easy, Kate, but I'm glad you got this. Yeah, and the elves and the shoemaker. The shoemaker's turned his back. He's been doing the Good Morning Portugal show, and the elves have been in voting. Look at this. Which wine is fortified with grape spirit and aged in barrels? Is it A, port or Porto? Is it B, Vinho Verde, or is it C, Dow wine? Port, Vinho Verde, or Dow? Which wine is fortified with grape spirit and aged in barrels? There you go. That's the Portuguese citizenship test question. 63, everybody, today. And we're going to stay with spirit. You started it. Yes. I've got the message. Oh, see you in Porto, says Joe. He sent me a little message there. Thank you so much. It was lovely to speak with you. It was great to speak with Joe as well. And well done, Colin. And good luck with that doctor's appointment. Can you imagine in the Ross Jones household, he's got one of those Zoom consultations going on with a doctor on the screen. He's probably quite glad that she hasn't had to say to Colin, can you go behind the screens and strip off and then come and present you whatever it is you want me to probe here? They can do it all remotely until Mrs. Ross Jones walks in and sees Colin bent over in front of his Zoom screen there. It's from the sublime to the ridiculous here on the Good Morning Portugal show this morning. Yes, and from port spirit, grape spirit, to the Christmas spirit. It's hard to hold back the Christmas spirit and mention of Christmas here when you live in Portugal. And a fabulous video from Andeiro. He's been to see the big Santa and the little Santa. Looks like they've done themselves proud in Agada again. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll leave you with 3.5 minutes of festive magic, courtesy of the Aveiro Cycling Club, I think, and Andeiro. Check this out and enjoy this. A trip to Agada on the bicycles. Take care. Bye for now. Have a great day, and we'll see you.